On March 11, 2011, a magnitude 9 earthquake and subsequent tsunami struck Japan, killing more than 15,000 people and bringing the country to the edge of a nuclear crisis. At the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant, hydrogen gases exploded, spreading radiation into communities more than 25 miles away. 3 of the plant's 6 reactors melted down, turning nuclear fuel into a sort of molten lava that burned through steel walls and concrete floors. The cleanup is expected to cost $200 billion and take decades. Maryland looks to restore oyster population. Delta variant spreads as Pfizer looks to administer third shot. Special report. Branson and Virgin Galactic complete successful spaceflight. Richard Branson soars into space aboard Virgin Galactic rocket plane. Virgin Galactic's Richard Branson takes lead over Amazon's Jeff Bezos in billionaire race to space. Death toll in condo building collapse rises to 86. Surfside search takes emotional toll on rescuers. Seamstress gives Navy veteran his dream uniform. Texas governor calls state lawmakers back for special legislative session. Our current ransomware deterrent strategy is simply not working. Expert says Biden presses Putin to crack down on cyber attacks. CDC says no masks needed for fully vaccinated teachers and students. FDA and CDC push back on need for COVID-19 booster shots. Western states face another round of extreme heat as death count from last heat wave nears 200. Heat wave hits Southwest as tropical storm Elsa races up the Atlantic seaboard. Western U.S. braces for weekend of record-breaking heat. 60 Minutes has covered the disaster and ensuing recovery since the beginning. Here are those reports. Load error. There are 4-legged robots, robots that climb stairs, and even robots that can swim into reactors flooded with water, Stahl says. They're equipped with 3D scanners and cameras that map the terrain, measure radiation levels, and look for the missing fuel. The robots have run into some problems. In early models, the intense levels of radiation fried the electronics and cameras. Scientists have had more success with a robot called Little Sunfish, which can swim inside one of the reactors flooded with water and can withstand intense levels of radiation. Lake Barrett, a former U.S. Department of Energy official, oversaw the cleanup of the worst nuclear disaster in U.S. history, the 3 Mile Island accident. He was hired as a senior advisor by the Japanese company that owns the Fukushima Daiichi plant and is now in charge of the effort to find the missing fuel. He told Stahl the situation is unique, having never happened before in human history. Barrett believes the cleanup will take several decades. It may be longer, he told Stahl. But reality is, this is a challenge that's never been dealt with before, so we are taking it carefully. But it will get done. I have high confidence. 3 years after the earthquake and tsunami struck, correspondent Bob Simon reported on the radioactive wasteland that stretched for miles around the Fukushima Daiichi plant. The people who lived nearby didn't know if they would ever be able to go home, and many already knew they didn't want to. Simon visited the town of Okuma. At the time of the earthquake, its population was 11,000. 3 years later, it was 0. He spoke with Norio Kimura, a former Okuma resident who had lived with his wife and 2 daughters, next door to his parents. The tsunami killed Kimura's father, wife, and youngest daughter, Yuna. Because of radiation still in the area, Kimura could visit his former home only 10 times a year and stay a mere 5 hours at a time. He returned each time he could, Simon reported, to search for his daughter, whose remains had not been found. I know that the chance is very slim, but no matter how slim the chance is, I still cannot stop, Kimura told Simon. From outside looking in, I know that this is very unlikely. But I still can't stop even if I cannot ever find her. When 60 Minutes first reported from Japan in the wake of the earthquake and tsunami, the events were still unfolding. No one knew what would happen at the Fukushima Daiichi plant. Just days after the disaster, correspondent Scott Pelley and his team traveled to Japan, where they spent a week reporting. At the time, emergency crews were struggling to restore cooling and to stabilize pressure inside the reactors. You're dealing with the smoke. You're dealing with the debris. It is just very difficult to make such an assessment of the situation. I mean, you're really trying to scrutinize the pixels of the picture, Julia Neshiwat, a State Department official, told Pelley. Neshiwat had already been in Japan working on nuclear issues when the earthquake struck. Pelley also spoke with David Chumrianlet, a Texas native who had been teaching English in Japanese schools for a couple of years. He was teaching the day the earthquake struck and told Pelly how he struggled to survive and save students in the school's gymnasium. When Pelly visited the school 5 days later, those who did not survive were still lying across the basketball court. But the fact of the matter is there is no place to put this many bodies, Pelly reported. The morgues are completely full and, frankly, there aren't enough people to move them. It is a fact, in this part of Japan, that at this moment in time, that there are not enough living to take care of the dead.